So welcome, Dan.
Thank you, Matt.
Thank you for being here and for being willing to share a little bit of your experience in this program of Family Constellations. And I'm welcoming you. And also, why don't you introduce yourself? What's your occupation? And maybe what was the thing that resonated with you when you heard about Family Constellations? Or how was your first experience and how did you get to the program?
Let me think now. Okay. I guess my first experience was, we've been friends for a long time. I'll introduce myself. So my name is Dan Schmutz, and I'm an environmental scientist. So that's really what I've been doing for 25 years, my career, my day job. And I work to understand our human impacts on the environment, try to balance those impacts, because we're not the only animal on the planet. So, and then probably about 14 years ago, I got interested in a complementary healing technique called pranic healing. And I've been doing pranic healing since then. And I even teach people how to do pranic healing. It's a kind of energy healing. Mm-hmm. So I met you through Qigong. We were doing training together in Qigong, and then later you introduced me to your shaman teacher, Heidi. Mm-hmm. And so Heidi blessed me with training, and I learned a form of shamanism from her, which I still practice. And then we were in touch off and on, and you mentioned to me a little bit about the family constellations, and you shared a few stories. I was like, that sounds really intriguing, because it seemed to me that it was about, in addition to healing the individual, which is what many of the techniques that I have learned, it seemed to be about healing the family system, which I thought, so you're not just healing yourself, you're actually helping your whole family. So that really touched me. And then we had a couple of sample healings that took place online. We did some work together, or maybe I just watched what was happening. And actually I received some constellations also, which is, where I shared a problem and then that I wanted resolution, and then the healers actually worked with me and helped to resolve that situation.
Beautiful. And how was your experience in the program?
It exceeded my expectations, to be honest. Yeah, I didn't know what to expect exactly. I mean, I knew that whatever you were doing, because I know you've done many different things, and yet you're so called to this, you've committed yourself to this, and you've also, from what I understand, you've taken the family constellations and you've added to it, your own perspective, which is developed through the other teachings that you've had, the shamanic teachings, psychology, the 5 wounds, these kinds of things have been now kind of integrated into the constellations. And so I didn't understand that when I first started. I thought you were just going to be teaching something that you had learned just as it was, but you have actually helped to develop this program. And so from that perspective, I not only learned about the constellations, I also learned about the wounds and other things. So for me, it was definitely a mind expanding experience. And it caused me also to receive insights into my own psychology. I think that sometimes we think about psychology like people just, talking to a counselor or something like that. It may take a long time in many cases to resolve something. Whereas in this, it sort of goes right to the heart of it, kind of pokes at it and says like, look at this thing that is speaking to you from your childhood.
To the root.
To the root of the problem.
Root of the individual, because then there is another root, that is the ancestral root, the systemic root that not many people see. As you were saying, I just love that part that you were saying, and that was my case too. I was so into healing the individual, but then we forgot that we are integrated as part of a wholeness, and that the individual cannot heal if the wholeness is not healed. So just understanding that part makes you see differently and say, well, let's see what is behind me that was affecting, my life. And then you can go to the systemic and really heal the root, because it didn't really start with you. It started beyond, with our ancestors and beyond, right? The system, it has been from from the beginning of humanity, we have
So-
been having
So in a
much.
sense, the things that I might face in my life as challenges, something that's been troubling me for a long time, a puzzle, a problem, something like that, that's actually something that maybe my ancestors weren't able to address.
Yes.
But they may have moved the ball down the field a little bit. And so
Yes.
they, you know, my father did some improvement over maybe what my grandfather did. And now it's an
Yes.
opportunity for me to extend that further.
Exactly.
So
And
this class, these trainings did give me insight into that for my own personal things. You know, I
beautiful.
feel, and they also gave me tools to help recognize in other people what the specific issues they may be facing are. And the other thing I would tell everyone is it doesn't matter what you learn as far as reading about these things. It's when the person feels it in their own body that the shift starts to happen. And so that, I think, is what I learned in this training.
The experience.
The experience. Yeah, it's the experience.
Yes, thank you for bringing that out. It's not about what we think or understanding, because we can understand, oh, I'm being affected by this, but the understanding really doesn't create a change.
Right. And that's why you're always saying, Dan, get out of your head.
It's true. So I'm thinking that no, just don't think, just feel and see what happens there. And then yes, we address those emotions that we have been carrying from the past, that we are still carrying, that yes, our parents and our ancestors somehow were working on fixing,
Mhm.
but probably they didn't have the tools that we have today to do it. And one of them, I believe, is family constellations. Soul work can take you deeply to those roots. And I'm so glad that you took this
Me too.
program.
Me too.
Yes, because then you can amplify your vision and to see more beyond the individual, which I think is what other healers should see, you know, amplify your vision, because the more we amplify it, the more we can help.
Mhm.
We can help in other ways. We can help with the physical, with the energy field, with the body, with, you know, the thoughts. But the emotions, they really need that experience. So I'm so glad you brought that out here.
It's very delicate also. I mean, in the
Mhm.
sense that it's not like the healer is imposing something on the person being healed, you know, in the
Mhm.
constellations process. It's
Yes.
really like the healer is a facilitator that
Mhm.
knows, and you learn this in the class, you learn what certain emotions mean, the direction those emotions take you. They take you to certain places, certain wounds, and then you learn certain phrases, certain typical ways that there could be disharmony in the family system.
Yes,
And there's patterns.
the
And
movements.
so
Yes.
Maya has learned these patterns, and then she shares those with the students, and then we begin to see those in our own lives. So it's very powerful. And in some cases, as I'm doing my healing sessions, I might say, this person needs a constellation. You know, so you just recognize, my teacher, Master Choa, said there are different forms of healing for different ailments. And sometimes you recognize, this is actually a constellation. That's what they need. So at this point, I might send them to Maya, but maybe eventually I'll be doing it. Actually, I will admit I've already started.
You
So,
already started
yeah,
doing
yeah, I
healing with
started
family
with the
constellations.
constellations.
You'll be graduating soon.
Soon, yeah. But I call her for advice. So I'm grateful to have this community that is working together.
A family. We created a beautiful family.
Amen.
Soul family.
A soul family.
Yes. So would you recommend this program for others, like to others?
Yes,
Mhm.
with the caveat to be ready for change to happen.
Yes.
If someone doesn't want change to happen, then no, because this is powerful. And so when you learn these techniques, you receive constellation, just be prepared, to face some of the things that maybe you're still afraid of facing, because that will help you to grow. So this is about growth.
Yes. Confronting
Mhm.
yourself and what has been hidden that we don't want others, not even ourselves, to see in ourselves.
And I would say a lot of us, myself included, didn't even know those things were hanging out.
No, I didn't know him. That's for sure. I didn't know them until I was like, what?
Because you have to learn to cope, you know, you have to learn to get by.
Yes, But that's not healing. Right? That's not healing. That's trying to.
Well, these things, I think eventually life challenges you,
Yes.
but it may not challenge you until your deathbed. It's
Yeah.
like, don't you want to face those things before that and heal them and then be happy?
Definitely. So I can, you just told me that the program.
You're sold?
I'm sold.
Hey, sign on the dotted line. You want the advanced training too?
I want the advanced training. So we're just going to invite people by sharing this. Our intention is that you listen to what our experience has been, and that maybe we can motivate you or encourage you to take one step instead of forward deeper into what you are ready to see if you feel that that's your call. We are all in different places, and this is just one possibility for you to heal in a deeper level in that within your soul, because that's really what we are doing here. So
Thank you.
thank you. Thank you for
Mara.
listening.
Thank you for these teachings.
Mhm.
And
Thank you, Dan. Thank you for being here and for sharing your heart and my heart. Thank you so much. That was beautiful. I love it.
That was beautiful.
Thank you.